someone flicks me a back body. Say, oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah. It's a full strong, yeah. Oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah.
Good evening. Welcome to our YouTube channel. This is iBoxingHub. I go by the name of BNG, featuring yours truly, Trey. What's good?
All good, cuz. All good. Just excited, gassed. Whatever word that, comes with the phrase, looking forward to boxing. I'm just excited, cuz. I can't lie. How's your week been?
Yeah, it's been all right. No, I can't complain. The weather's nice. Yeah, all good, all good. Not too bad, not too bad. So let's go straight at it. Let's talk boxing. Yeah, the Fury and Ngannou press conference. It was all right, but the madness between Audley and Adelaide, that's a fight I'm looking forward to. Yeah,
what actually happened? Like, just explain to me what happened between, because I saw, Woody ended up, getting hit, I think. So what was that whole situation there?
I'm not too sure. I think somebody from Audley's side, I think a security guard or something, was giving it to Adelaide. He wasn't too happy, so I think Audley went over to see what's going on, and then obviously he just switched in and pushed him, and then the rest was just history. But he didn't punch him. No, I don't. I think either somebody else punched him or he dropped. I don't know. But that's a fight. I think that could be the big fight. That could be the fight that may steal the show.
Yeah, it's exciting. I can't even lie.
Is it for the British title as well?
I believe so. But guys, the community, get involved in the discussions as well. This is one of the reasons why we do these shows, because we want everyone involved in these discussions. And look, big up everyone that's subscribed to the channel so far. We love talking boxing, and we just want everyone involved. And yep, our Heyman of iBoxingHub is confirmed. Yes, it will be on the line, cuz. So look, it just makes it even more juicier as well. We've got a heavyweight exhibition or pro fight, let's say. That's the main event. But look, I'm excited regardless. I'm excited. It's going to be a good show.
Yeah.
Who you got winning?
Do you know what? I don't know. With this one, I'm actually sitting on the fence because, I'm actually sitting on the fence because it's weird, because I remember Audley, he was calling out Nathan Gorman. This was a few years ago. That fight never happened. And Nathan Gorman had the opportunity to fight Audley, and so Audley beat him. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like, okay. And it'll be interesting just to see, because me per se, the winner out of that, I want them to challenge Daniel Dubois.
Yeah, let's get these big domestic fights going. I think that would be a good fight. The winner facing Dubois, and you've still got Joe Joyce in the mix as well. Moses Atuma, he's also this kid, especially at that age.
18.
He's crazy. We obviously saw Coco Gauff yesterday. She obviously won her first Grand Slam. I know it's tennis, man, 19, but that should be sort of an example that, look, it doesn't matter what age you are. If you're ready, you are ready. I think, he looks good so far from what I've seen.
Yeah.
And look, TKV, Tony Ellis, thank you. How do we forget about our Congolese brother?
He's next. TKV. And you know what? Bokoli. People keep forgetting Bokoli.
Bokoli as well. There's still a lot of heavyweights in England that could, potentially be the next one up, especially to win the title. But look, as being, from Congo, I will definitely support my brother Jamie TKV, to one day become champion. But look, it's open. It's really, really exciting right now, man. So big up. Cuz we obviously touched on it, but let's dig a little bit deeper into the Fury and Ngannou fight. We saw the press conference. We saw the back and forth per se. What's your thoughts? Did anyone get the edge, or was it just standard procedures?
It's easy money, man. Easy money. I mean, no disrespect to Ngannou, but I can't really see him doing anything. If he lands, okay, let's just say he lands, but is he going to put Fury to sleep? I don't think so. This is his biggest paycheck. He's getting paid 10 million. UFC never paid him 10 million before.
Yep.
If he does perform well, right? If he does perform well, I think he should move over to Misfits.
Yeah. But who would want to fight him though? You know what I mean? Trained by Mike Tyson as well. You know.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, you can be trained by the greatest and this and that, but it comes down to you. And remember, he's not a boxer; he's an MMA fighter. Yeah. Look, I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I can't really see. I mean, look at that. Look at Fury. Fury's just fat and big. Yeah. No disrespect to him at all. I mean, like, and look at Ngannou. Yeah, he's ripped. He's hench. But Fury's just making all these people look average. Do you know what I mean? He's making them look silly. And even though this is just a 10-rounder, you know, Fury's going to entertain and he's going to fight as well.
You know what, cuz just thinking about it as well, that's why I think he's just the ultimate genius, man, because I just think he plays on that, man. He wants you to be like, touch my belly and look how I look. I want you psychologically to think, oh, what's this? But in the ring, we know that he's, you know, moves like a super middleweight or light heavyweight, like, or cruiserweight. He moves fast. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like you said, I think it's going to be easy money. But I guess the crossover is always good for the Gen Z world. And, yeah,
it's good. But this is how I see it playing, right? I see the same thing that happened to Conor McGregor. He's going to go in fast and explosive. Because remember, MMA, is it round one? Is it 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Whereas boxing is 3 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So he's going to eventually gas out mid-round. And then that's it. Game over. That's how I see it.
That's the game plan. Yeah, that's what I think the game plan is.
Yeah. Fury's going to play around, see what he's got. Okay. Then he's going to gas out. And then, yeah. Boxing ain't easy, mate. Yeah. Ain't easy.
Yeah, especially when you're fighting against a fighter that, you know, he seemed like, you know, the boxing gods created him, per se, because when you look at, you know, John Fury's background and Tyson Fury's mum's background as well, it's like they came together to wanting to create Tyson Fury. And then look his name, named after Mike Tyson as well. There's that epic interview when John Fury just says to Tyson, look, like, this, I named him after you, you know, so it's honor. It's an honor, man.
Yeah, and not even that. John Fury wants to fight Mike Tyson in an exhibition. Me personally, I think Tyson, I would love to see that. Yeah.
Is that serious?
Well, nothing's been confirmed, but he wants to fight Mike Tyson in an exhibition. He wants to fight him on the undercard of Fury and Ngannou.
Wow, serious? No way. It's for him, it'll be more of a dream, I guess, because, you know, he named his son after him. So I'm thinking, would he respect him enough to want to punch him? Because it's a bit different with football. You can get in the field and, you know, challenge, you know, your icon. No one's not going to get hurt or nothing. But this is the boxing business. Someone's going to get, you know,
money's involved, and if it's in Saudi, if they can make it happen, why not? You know, that fight will probably be the co-main event.
Yeah. That would be mad. The first father-son event.
Was still the show. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that would be mad.
At the moment, we don't know who's on the undercard apart from Adelaide and Wardley. I don't know who else is going to be participating in that undercard. But moving on swiftly, the Wilder and AJ situation. I'm annoyed and I'm confused and I'm frustrated. The thing is, Eddie is saying that, you know, the Saudi, they still went on Saudi. Nothing's been confirmed yet, blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing, right? AJ and Wilder fighting each other is a big fight. So let's just say, right, you've got Usyk v Fury and AJ v Wilder on the same day. AJ and Wilder's going to be do more numbers. AJ and Wilder can potentially, no, in fact, it will sell out Tottenham Stadium and Wembley Arena. Now, all these guys are just being greedy, because obviously I understand if it was taking place in Saudi, it'd be what, 50 or 60 million. I get it, but look, you lot are millionaires already. Do you know what I mean? So I think AJ's ranks number 2 or number 1 WBC. I think Wilder's number 2 or 3, one or the other. I'm not too sure. They should just make this fight happen. It's getting ridiculous, because now I'm hearing if this fight doesn't happen, AJ will fight in December, and he'll most likely fight Filip Hrgović or Andy Ruiz.
Yes, that'll be good, man.
Will be good, but then it will be annoying, because then it's just like, would we ever see a Wilder and AJ? And not just that, it's just like Filip Hrgović. He said, you know, he's not stepping aside. He wants to fight Usyk next, because he's next in line. But then I've said this before previously in the pod. I said, look, Hrgović fighting AJ will be his biggest paycheck. Win or lose, it will be his biggest paycheck. If he was to lose AJ, AJ takes that position. AJ will then fight Usyk for the third time. Do you know what I mean? And if not, might get lucky the third time. But then it's just like AJ fighting Andy Ruiz is a risk. But then again, he can redeem himself and prove that, no, do you know what? The first time it was just, do you know what I mean? So it's just like, but then again, Andy Ruiz might outprice himself. Do you know what I mean? So it's a bit of a trick one. And not just that, AJ's next fight apparently is not taking place in the UK. It's going to be somewhere abroad.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, you know what? Because just going to what you're saying, look, it's frustrating. Yes, you know, we're thinking, why is this a Wilder fight not happening? But look, that's the beauty of boxing. You know, he's still got the Miller fight that's gonna be lingering there. That could potentially still happen. And also, we've got like an opportunity to see AJ, you know, right another wrong per se, because it's 1-1 between him and Ruiz. And Ruiz this time coming round, I believe somewhere in the region of 10 million he will agree to fight, man. I think that's the sort of money that he was asking from Wilder, not the initial 20. I think he did sort of come out after and say, look, 10 million, let's get going. But look, I'm sure AJ could make that happen, or a negotiation can happen with that sort of magic number 10 million, maybe bring it down to 8 plus, you know, this and that. Things can happen, and I genuinely believe that boxers, if they want to fight, they can make it happen. They can make it happen. It's just down to the management, the team, the promoters, just making the fight happen with the numbers. Especially when 2 fighters want to fight.
As a boxing fan, who would you want to see AJ fight next out of the 3 I've just named?
Well, out of Wilder, Hrgović, and Andy Ruiz. Obviously, we want the Wilder. Like, if it was down to me, Wilder versus Joshua, Nigeria, Rumble in the Jungle 2, or Chaos in Lagos, like what Ade says. I want to see that fight happening in Africa, if it was down to me. But what I think is going to happen is Andy Ruiz, the trilogy. I think it's easy to promote for Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn will do a great job promoting it. This is a trilogy fight for AJ. And being involved in trilogy fights as a fighter is big. So I think regardless for AJ, yes, he's losing out on Wilder, but he could make another potential legacy fight in this. And that could lead him up to the next big fight, which can be maybe a Wilder or Hrgović, just depending on Zhang. There's fighters. Joe Joyce.
Where does that leave Wilder then? So if the AJ and Wilder fight doesn't happen, AJ fights Andy Ruiz, who's Wilder going to fight to make money? Because it ain't going to be another Hellenius.
Yes. Palamos Music, good evening to you, brother. Big up to you. He's saying everybody's in the house. Look, big up to you, man. Thank you so much for joining us live, man. But cause it's a difficult one. It's very, very difficult. But you know, there's Big Bang Zhang versus Joe Joyce. Wilder could fight the winner. You know, there's fights out there. There's Usyk. There's Usyk potentially.
Yeah. Do you know what? Tyson Fury said he was never chasing Undisputed, because in fairness, Tyson has won all of the belts. Obviously, he got stripped, etc. But to be fair, he was never chasing. He said he was never chasing Undisputed, so he doesn't really care. He wants to fight the next big thing. And to be fair, the next big thing for Tyson really is Usyk and AJ. When you think about it, But then, like you said, if AJ fights and Ruiz, would Usyk want to fight Wilder?
You know what? That's such a good question. And look, I'm a fan of both fighters. Like, you guys know I'm a massive fan of both fighters, and that would be a fight that I would love to see, because a lot of people are saying, can Wilder catch Usyk, or will Usyk just be able to focus throughout the whole of the 12 rounds and be able to, win the fight? Because I don't really see Usyk being able to stop Wilder. I think he'll be able to potentially win on decisions. But the only problem is, my boy Wilder, man, he's got the equalizer. Like, if you lose focus for like a second, like in that Dubois situation, Wilder, in my opinion, would have saw that as, yep, as soon as we're back on, I'm just gonna, would have potentially finished the job. So we just don't know. We just don't know. So I hope it happens. Look, I hope it happens. I don't think it may happen next. But Wilder would love to have that fight, though. I know that he would love to have that fight.
Because like it's a bit annoying. It's just to think like, okay, after Fury fights and Ngannou, right? I'm assuming he's coming back to the pro again. Who's he gonna fight? Who's he gonna fight next?
AJ.
No, but that's so you're basically saying Fury's gonna fight AJ next.
I think that's why he's doing all of this right now, man. I think he wants the AJ fight and maybe call it quits. Like maybe. I'm not saying that that's the case, but it doesn't seem like he's chasing to be undisputed. Like you said, he might want the next big thing, and the next big thing after Usyk, like you said, could be an AJ. And look, Palermo's music, thank you so much for getting involved. Usyk only wants the unified fights, then he'll retire. This is what I'm thinking. Wilder is irrelevant to him right now, and definitely not on that list. That's what I think as well. But Usyk, that's the problem that Usyk and Fury have. Usyk wants to be unified. Fury doesn't want to be unified. He's not doesn't want to, but he's not bothered. So the means that gets them two together is money.
But then, all right, okay. If Fury is not bothered about being unified, because Fury already, his name carries weight, he can just vacate his belt then.
Yeah.
And if he vacates his belt, then you'll have the likes of, I don't know, AJ and Wilder. They can fight for that belt. And whoever wins.
Know he's not going to do that.
I know that. I know that, but it's just like it's getting frustrating. It's just getting long, mate. Heavyweight division, it's a joke. It's been over 20 years, since we last had an undisputed heavyweight champion, and we're now so close. We've got two people who are champions. One's unified and one's a WBC champion. They can just sit Alinho, and they can make the fight happen. But it's just like they're talking about money, talking about this and that. But he's fighting Ngannou already. We know it's a joke, but he's making money. Regardless, he's making money. Netflix show is making money. Him fighting Usyk is still making money. And where I think it's annoying. It's just like they're saying that Usyk should just accept 30% and he takes 70%. I get it, but I still think it's a bit unfair. Obviously, I understand that you sell out more, but Usyk is the unified champion, so it should be, if not, maybe not 50-50 per se. No, in fact, it could be 50-50 because remember, everyone from the Ukraine tunes in. Do you know what I mean? He's got a big following, Ukraine, Poland, etc.
Yeah, so is obviously saying that while the WBC are backing Fury, whilst all of this is happening, he can do whatever he wants right now. Because it just leads on to what you're saying, but
so I just think after this Ngannou fight, he needs to defend that belt. I've been to Usyk or whoever, but that he needs to defend it, because I just feel that it's a bit unfair for people who are ranked on the WBC and then they're getting a title shot, and it's just like they got mouths to feed, they've got bills to pay. Do you know what I'm saying? They're professionals, So it's just like I said, the way I see it, after this fight, he has to defend that belt. If not, then I don't know. But in terms of Usyk's pretty much tied up when you think of it, because he will have to defend his IBF to Herkovich. After that, then he's WBO against the winner of Joe Joyce and Zhang.
Yep.
Then after that, if he wants to, do you know what I mean? I mean, don't get me wrong, he could probably still, if Fury was interested, they could probably still make the Undisputed, do you know what I'm saying? Just because in fairness, the way I see it from Zhang and Joe Joyce, Zhang, Herkovich, if they just stepped aside, let the Undisputed fight happen, I'm sure the winner who becomes Undisputed champion will then vacate the belts. Then it'll be nice. Do you know what I mean? For them to fight the belts. But I'm just thinking of where does Wilder stand? Where does Ruiz stand? Where does AJ stand? Because if AJ is saying he wants to become third-time champion again, the only route I can see is he's got two routes. Fight Wilder, you beat Wilder, you get Fury. Fight Herkovich, you beat Herkovich, next in line, you get Usyk. And Wilder, Usyk don't want nothing. He doesn't want to fight Wilder. He doesn't want to fight Wilder. It's just a big risk. So it's just like, where does he go? So it just makes sense for Eddie Hearn said it himself. There's a lot of countries that want to host Wilder and Fury. Sorry, Wilder and AJ. But then again, it just comes down to the money. But dude, it's a big fight. It's a big fight. So what if they're getting paid 20 million each or whatnot? It's a big fight. Think about it. It will sell out. The whole world will watch this fight. Americans, Brits, all over. So it's just, I just think they're being greedy and they're being selfish. And they're longing it out because look, Wilder's what? He said he's given himself 2 years in the sports and then he's done.
Yeah, Wilder hasn't got long left in the sport, man, if I'm honest with you. He doesn't really have long left. Same as AJ as well. I think it's the same.
At this rate, Fury said he's not interested in AJ. He doesn't need him. He said he's not interested. So would we ever see that fight? This is just wow. I don't know, man. This is just, do you know what? A part of me, yeah, I can't wait for this heavyweight division to be done. So then we can see more champions, upcoming champions, more fights, etc. Because right about now, it's just everyone's just hogging everything, man.
Yeah.
All of the other divisions, they're making things happen. They're making things happen.
Yeah.
They negotiate, they sit down, yeah, boom, boom, okay, back. But these guys here, wow. And they say, oh, it's not the money. Now they say, no, it's about the money. It's just mad.
Because we've got to a point now in boxing where for the first time in men's boxing, we're going to have an undisputed versus another undisputed between two different weight divisions. And during this whole period, the heavyweights, it's taken long. Even for Usyk to get the 3 belts and for Fury to get the belt that he has, we're just missing that one fight. But it's just the problem is both fighters they've got different objectives. Fury is to make as much money as possible, it seems. And Usyk wants to unify the division. And after he unifies, he retires. And I think after, I would say, Fury versus AJ, I think that's the point where I think Fury would retire after he fights AJ. Because I don't think he's fighting anyone else.
If Usyk can't make the Fury fight, I could see him retiring as well. I'd be like, look, I tried, guys. And then that means all the belts gets vacated, left, right, center again.
Oh, no, that would be such a shame because he's done the journey, cuz man. Like that's why Fury's making the journey longer for Usyk because each time he doesn't agree to fight Fury, he's obviously got 3 belts, like you mentioned. He's got mandatories. He's got the WBO, the WBA, and then the IBF. Like he's got mandatories to deal with. So it just makes things so difficult for Usyk. So I feel for him. Like, I'm a massive fan of Usyk. He was undisputed as a cruiserweight, winning the Muhammad Ali trophy as well, beating the best, moving up to heavyweight, winning the unified heavyweight championship. He just wants to do that last thing, man, so he can be in the names with Evander Holyfield from coming up from cruiserweight to heavyweight, undisputed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
It's deep, man. That's why I feel throughout this whole process, I feel for Usyk the most because he's had to go through like the war with Ukraine and dealing with that stuff, and he still had to come back, fight. He's even Usyk's even giving guys opportunities to fight as well. He gave Dubois a title shot, and he has to fight his mandatories anyway. So this makes it difficult.
Boy, we shall see. Hopefully, they're talking about making it. It could potentially happen next year in March, April. But we'll see. We'll see. But I just want to know, if the Wild and AJ fight, if they can't make it, I just want to know who AJ is going to be fighting in December, because December's around the corner, isn't it? So we need to start. I'm assuming we need to find out as of next week.
Yeah, let's get the trilogy.
Yeah,
let's get the trilogy.
Now, the trilogy. Repeat, revenge.
Oh, because it's gonna put us on the spotlight. That's a big one. Boy, they're both very different fighters now from what we saw in the first two. Ruiz looks more agile. He looks like he's going to be more patient. He looks like this time round, he knows, I think he has to come inside Joshua, because if he's in the outside again, we know what Joshua's going to do, is to out-jab him and do the same thing what he did in the second fight. So in order for Ruiz to have some sort of advantage, I think he needs to come inside and take some risks. But for Joshua, the good thing for him is he knows how to beat him, which is jab on the outside. It's going to be boring, but if it's for the W, I don't think Derek James would care. So it's just one of them ones.
Yeah, because I can't see him training with him. Look what happened last time.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't see him training. But the other thing, because Ruiz is quick with his hands, but he's slow on his feet.
Yeah.
Quick in his hands, but slow on his feet. But look what he done to Ortiz.
That's what I'm saying. Yes. No, it's just like you said, cuz it's a dangerous fight for him to fight in December. But this is why you have to give AJ credit as well. It's showing that he's still hungry for the big fights. So if he does do the trilogy instead of fighting like maybe another guy, then no, it's still good. So I hope, my hope is either the trilogy, if not the trilogy, surprise us with unfinished business, man. Jarrell, Big Baby, Miller.
Well, Miller's fighting Emmanuel Char for the WBA regular. So Miller's out. He's out. But the trilogy, I reckon, run it back at Madison Square Garden.
It needs to happen.
It will sell out.
Unfinished business, like you said, cuz that should be the title. Unfinished business. We need to see them too, because I think, like you said in a few pods that Jerome Miller will bring that something out of him, because there was something juicy building in that fight. I think AJ was mentally locked in for Miller, and he wasn't ready for that last minute change in Ruiz. That's just unlucky in a way, because I don't think Eddie nor AJ knew how good Ruiz were, but the boxing world knew.
Yeah. You know what? I remember during the build-up, AJ was like, "Yeah, I'll probably knock him out early." Which he knocked him down round 3. He did, but then
yeah. And look, Lam was just saying Mahmoud is gonna deal with Miller.
Woo. Do you know what? That's an interesting fight, because Mahmoud, when was the last time he fought? Was it 2015?
Yeah. He already said he's gonna knock out Miller for ages. Well.
Do you know what? Just listen, 2015, last time he fought, let's just deep it. Miller's been active.
Yep.
So I think it's gonna be a tough one for both of them. I think Miller might just win on points.
Yeah, I reckon Miller's gonna win, man. I don't think he's gonna win on points. I think he's gonna potentially stop him. Yeah. I just think Miller, I think right now, this is why it would be an absolute pleasure to, interview him on the show one day. It feels like he's got a point to prove, man. After all the, allegations and, what's happened, I think he just wants to come back harder, stronger. And I think he just wants that AJ fight. And I think he knows if he loses any fights at this stage, that AJ fight's going to slowly keep going further away. But if he keeps winning, then slowly we'll get to a point where AJ's like, yep, let's get this on now. He's in a good position. Let's have it.
Do you know what? Yeah, may the best man win. I mean, it'll be interesting just to think of it. If Miller wins the WBA regular title, he's potentially next in line in the future to fight the current heavyweight champion. Do you know how crazy that is?
Yeah.
It's mad.
It's boxing right now, man. But it's the heavyweight boxing, not the whole of boxing. Let's not generalize it. It's been a tremendous year for boxing. We're about to, once again, I'll repeat, Undisputed versus Undisputed, end of this month. You know, first time in the men's, senior sport that this is happening. So big up.
But just a quick one. You see, you say it's Undisputed if he's Undisputed, but it's actually for Canelo's belts.
Yeah. It's for,
I get it. Yeah.
It's for Canelo's belt.
Yeah.
But look, Charlo, up until the belt, he's going to be Undisputed champion for the 154 division. Up because he's going to lose one of the titles just before the he gets in the ring. Yeah. So
no worries. So I'm looking forward to that. I reckon Charlo's going to do the business, but hey ho, we'll see. You got Joe Joyce and Zhang in a couple of weeks, so I reckon it's going to be revenge.
Ooh, I'm going for repeat.
Yeah, no worries.
No, you know what?
Back in the underdog. For those who know me, I'm an underdog backer. I back the underdogs, and your screen is frozen. On that note, we're here on Wednesdays and Sundays, 7:30. Peace and love.
It's another bang. All the Muslim cars now, would you like it up? I start my card with a sweet one, please. Someone flips me a bag,